talking about how some guy actually brought a whole ass chicken onto an airplane and just started eating it, just like fucking Gollum style. Anyways, hi everybody, welcome to Dice Soup, brought to you by Once Upon a D20 at patreon.com/onceupon-a-D20, right here on Twitch or YouTube, wherever you're finding your VODs. Thank you for finding us, and we are happy to have you. Welcome.
I feel like a chicken sedan would be like almost a chicken parmesan dish.
Oh my god!
But like,
I'm thinking it's going to be more of an elaborate sandwich.
Yeah, like a chicken parm made with a whole ass fucking chicken, just the whole.
Yeah, like a whole rotisserie chicken parm.
Let's go. We need.
But it's like a KFC mutant chicken with 4 chicken breasts.
Yeah,
and 8 legs.
Sounds good. Sounds perfectly fine.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. All right.
Scrum-diddly-umptious.
Do we have any announcements here at the top? I know part of the reason we're late, but I'm not doing it to shame them. I'm doing it to plug their stuff. The Fly Nerd Group just recorded a new episode today. Go check it out, Fly Nerd Group.
Yeah, it'll post Monday on our channels. It's a somewhat political episode. Won't discuss all that here, but I would just say come check it out. Lots of interesting information passed around, and we talk about the 2 summer events from both Marvel and DC Comics, as well as local music news, especially the LL Cool J Shannon Sharp interview, which I can all expound on that later after we roll dice.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check out the episode. That's what I'm saying. Yep. So, with that though, we get back to I switched the map, Teddy, so that we're not giving the spoiler that I gave to you guys.
I was waiting.
Thank you. Back to Rexentrum, the Dwendalian Empire. Well, north of Rexentrum, up in the Dunrock Mountains, the Vergessen Sanatorium, where the group had done a surprise incursion. Well, somewhat surprise incursion. They had just recently had a surprise incursion from one Scanlan Shorthalt, not wanting to wait on everybody else. He'd been waiting for weeks to go and figure stuff out with Kaylee, and so as soon as he knew that there was a place to go, he was going to take care of this his own damn self. I would like to point out that Scanlan has a negative wisdom score. So, you know, even when you have the power, sometimes you have to have the wisdom to use it, or you get in a whole fuck ton of trouble, like Scanlan did. Like Scanlan did. The group finding out about that after having their tete-a-tete with a Cordian Jade Dragon. Jumped back to Rexentrum to go and retrieve Pike. Jumped from Rexentrum directly into the Vergessen Sanatorium. To what should have been nobody's surprise, I apparently was. Just stormed the castle for operative term of castle. Stormed the castle to just go and fuck shit up. No words, just fuck shit up.
Yep.
In the middle of
we saw immediately beat down.
I'm sorry. The first room of people you saw,
I think Akira was technically first,
that's right.
And they found a random person on the stairway.
That's right. Oh yeah. There were 2 of them. There were 2 of them. Actually, ironically, the first person they went to go beat down, in fact, one of the survivors.
Sorefoot. I mean,
what?
Sure.
Yeah.
Bramble.
Yeah.
Scramble.
I'll say Sorefoot. Sorefoot's his last name. Spoiler. Yeah. Thanks, Ezra. Thanks for your character. at least one of y'all wizards survived. But after a brutal 20 rounds, 2 entire minutes in the sanatorium, the situation changed so many different ways. Yeah. It was round 20 when the teleportation circle finally went off.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, y'all lasted 20 fucking rounds. You put that on your player that shit you can brag about to other DMs and or players whenever you go and play. I lasted 20 rounds with the fucking Volstruckers. They're in the last moments of not only destroying the wizard assassin factory that was the Vergessen Sanatorium. Not only making it so that the entirely overwhelming amount of guards that were overwatching the prisoners in the sanatorium, distracting those enough that the prisoners themselves, we took one of our episodes to explore the prisoners themselves rising up and taking advantage on something that was entirely too tough for them, especially in their situation. But in desperation, sometimes you find the strength.
Survive.
Yeah, and fucking survive. And you know, take 15 rounds to get a fucking anti-magic necklace off your neck. But it's okay. It's okay. You killed things in the interim with just the extraordinary. You rolled a 100 on a D100 bet against me. Was that right?
Something like that, I think.
Yeah. And you bet high and you rolled a natty 100, so you found exactly what you needed, a longbow and 13 adamantine arrows. It was great. Just such a good battle. It's several episodes, but I highly suggest checking it out. But
you actually burned through all those adamantine arrows, so
every damn one.
So he only has the bones of Zomu to craft into more.
That's all right. But gathering together where you were not only able to negotiate your way through and find what you needed to find, also finding not one, but two people who seemed very intent on, oh, y'all are here to overthrow things. We will help you. Putting trust that not only was given in faith, but with some really strong insight rolls. Able to see the two of them very much having a sincere desire to improve the lot of this whole situation. They began teleportation circle. You rescued your friends, people that were in prison with your friends. Though we'll talk about one thing that may have gotten left. We'll get to that in a minute. But also taking out the headmaster, who not only had a simulacrum back at the college to handle the day-to-day business, but when he arrived himself, had a weird eye in his left socket. Used it to great effect to set most of the group running, and then trying to cut them off at their exit, found that even he, one of the most talented combat mages in all of Exandria, may not have been having the upper hand in a situation such as that. Being taken down by the Slayer in the end, being stopped from recalling himself to a safe place by one of the other trainee mages and Scanlan Shorthalt teaming their counterspells together to just barely stop him from leaving. You took him down, his little fucked up eye trying to pop out and surprise motherfucker you. In fact, Shade, first Slayer punching the shit out of it with his big adamantine fisty fist. And then Shade driving this legendary artifact blade straight through the eye melted, not to be retrieved, not to be examined, its secrets maintaining. But the rest of you, as the teleportation circle opens up, it's now or never. This horde of people leaving. And this wonderful afternoon of the 29th of Quasar, the last day of, or one of the last days of fall, I should say. Not the absolute last, but it is approaching the winter. And you all find yourselves teleporting into you were going from a small underground space to, well, another small space that at least at this moment has at least a window out to the outside, but let's show you exactly where. Here in this space, it's a mage's workshop almost. There's a lot of things going on in this room, kind of all at once. Potions, ingredients, notes, some artifacts strewn about, but directly in front of you, a goblin standing in front of a table on a step stool, or like a step step stool. Looked like he was working, and then suddenly the teleportation circle behind him exploding in energy, and just people just all walking through. We can go ahead and get rid of that as the circle closes, and this goblin, while he does have all the nose and the skin and the fucked up teeth of a goblin that you might expect, he is respectable looking in a nice double-breasted vest, little ascot, nice shirt, nice pants,
fancy
spectacles on his face. But he is currently taking off his little apron that is now covered in several different chemicals, as the surprise seemed to send a few things flying that he may have been working with. And there's an exasperation as he turns around, sees this army of people standing in this room, and calmly taking off the apron and setting it off to the side. Looks like he's starting to prestidigitate off some of the stuff, and looking amongst you, focuses in, and through the horde of you says, "Mr. Dramble, I would have expected," and wiping off his glasses, a little bit of forewarning. Drabble pipes up. Sorry, Wensforth. Kind of a panic situation. Dramble with his, I believe we phrased it in the first episode of Battle, involuntary rhinoplasty bestowed on him. And Wensforth, a little bit of concern on his face, seeing that, and then seeing at least some of the group terribly mussed up, some of the group right as rain. But I have a healing potion around here somewhere if you require it. You brought an army.
Ah, there it is.
Sounded like somebody had something to say.
Yeah, sorry, I hadn't actually looked at the Roll20 map yet. Are these windows here?
Yes, those are windows. Those are windows to the outside.
Okay.
Out the window he goes.
Survivor is bolting out the nearest window.
They are closed and solid. In fact, they're not. They're not. I would say they're not for. They're not for ventilation. They are for view. If you're going to try and dive through one of those,
hurt.
I will have an athletics check.
He's not the best at them, but he's
gonna try.
He's gonna try. He's in panic mode.
As a matter of curiosity, would Luca recognize this particular goblin?
Ooh.
It's a 21.
That's
A
pretty
21.
good.
I'll say this is extraordinarily durable glass. The DC was 20. I want to tell you that this was a hard thing that he was going to have to do. But yeah, no, this thick fucking glass, this decorative, translucent. You can see out of it, but it's wavy and pretty. Survivor has no chill, and goes, real quick,
And then tries to grab onto the outside wall and scurry down if he can.
Well,
I mean, you're diving through the window.
We'll make it a
Yeah.
We'll make it a dexterity save to see if you can dive through and grab on the way out, because either you're going yeet or you're gonna be able to grab yourself.
It's not okay. So it doesn't want to do saving throws right now for some reason. So I'll just have
Angry buttons.
Still doing that.
Yeah.
Oh no, they had another update on Friday.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah, surprise.
Double check that I have that.
And if you reinstall it, please make sure you remember to turn off your rolly dice. You specifically, Justice.
I'll have to.
19, baby. Yeah, you dive through and then just reach back as you're going through and claws on the glass for a second and just and catch yourself. Busted through that hard, that thick of glass is still 7 points of damage, but even getting a little shredded on the glass just fucking. And it is a good 25 feet from the floor that you're at to the ground.
Fair enough. He is action dashing. I mean, it was 15 to there, and then yeah,
just keep
35.
Yeah, just keeping on. So Survivor's fucking off. Is anybody trying to stop this?
Akira isn't going to stop
Sort of like
him.
deranged, feral-looking lizard man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akira isn't going to try and
Carrying an armful of bones.
Yeah, with an armful of bones.
But they are going to look out the window to make sure he's okay.
So you look
like,
out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, you look out the window, and you hear him very unstealthily crawling down, like, crawling down the wall and going. But more so, you see much more clearly a beautiful view brought to us by the illustrious Kent Davis of a city, but not just a city. You know this city. This beautiful view that you've had once before from a different perspective, from the other side of the bay. Now, instead of looking at the face of the Wild Mother's lighthouse, you're looking at the back end of it. Instead of looking out from the wall, looking out from House Debatoire, you can actually see them.
Oh.
You are, in fact, overlooking the beautiful city of Nicodranas.
Excellent.
Yeah, Kira's just gonna smile wide, like super wide, at seeing this, and pretty much just immediately start transmitting thoughts to Luca, like, we have to go see your mom, and just like excited, like, and there is no denying that they want to go fly over this water again.
As
like every
as
all
your
this other
wings
stuff
are
is fine.
fading from
Yeah.
their 1 minute, suddenly they fall and you're like, no, come back.
I can run across the water though.
Oh yeah, you can you can drop this 25 feet, sneeze, and be okay.
Yes.
You're fine. But
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Did the level up apply to those characters as well?
correct.
Okay, good. I was hoped and assumed as much. So then that meant at 10th level Ranger, Survivor gave him the ability to, as a bonus action, just become invisible for 6 seconds until the start of his next turn. So
Yeah, so first
he does that
just
as well.
First, just dashing out and scurrying, surprising people below. This you're not diving out into nothing. You're diving out into a not unbusy street in a port town, and you're used to mountains and shit. This is way too many people.
Mountains and caves and like, oh!
Yeah. And you go invisible and fucking Survivor's gone. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Akira stopped caring about Survivor once they saw the water.
Yeah.
That's
No.
fair. That's totally valid. He's meant to be forgotten. It's okay.
Just so you know, Zomu's bones are
Until
level
he
12
appears
now.
again. Indeed. They are some strong bones.
If
They're
he
like
chose to have you
strong
brought
stuff.
back, I mean, he's got something to have you brought back with.
So much bones. But
Only if you
indeed.
don't lose them everywhere after you turn them into arrows.
Yeah.
He does not waste. Anyways, so
If I can avoid it, I would have gone back for the arrows if I could have, but
in the middle of this conversation between this halfling and this goblin, you see Pike very very calmly taking that mace she had, hooking it back to its hook on her belt, and then she what's the term we should use? Slaps the ever-loving fuck out of Scanlan. She's wearing a gauntlet. You hear the ding in the metal as she slaps the fuck out of Scanlan.
Is his jaw broken?
For a second, there's a kind of a scratch and blood, and it like he like this obvious, ow, what was that? And she smashes her face into his, and just like after slapping him, like just grabs him by the scruff and pulls him in, and you the bonus action being a healing word somewhere in the mouth area there to bring him back in the mouth area. And that scratch heals itself, and she just pulls away and says, "Never leave without me." And it just like pushes him off for a second, and Scanlan looks horny and confused. And bleeding from all manner of other wounds that he had sustained, because he got fucked up before he turned into a pit fiend, and has been very demure since. And he just, okay, right, and he kind of having the immediate moment of realizing that like the battle is done, things are done. Oh, I'm here in this moment. Pain, pleasure, weird. Wait, Kaylee's alive and free, and he just like suddenly just glumps onto her, just huge hug, and Kaylee holding her pack of stuff and his jacket just kind of lets them go on the floor for a second, gives a big hug. There's a definite little family reunion had as the three of them have their embraces and their appreciations. Darius taking a moment to step back and again he's ever on guard duty. There in the midst of all of that, Wensforth says, do you have any need to have an audience with the as he starts to say the master, Master Debitoire. Hello.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry for the.
And he on the stool kind of steps off of the stool and bows to get himself lower and appropriate.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for this impromptu visit.
You another of the noble houses of Jeremy's brain, Nicodranus, there we go. Another of the noble houses of Nicodranus is obviously allowed to be here. Your friend. You're the one that your family is sponsoring the dwarf.
Wolf.
Yes. Wolf. He's actually upstairs with in the library with the master right now.
As much as I'd like to say hi, we weren't planning on intruding.
If
Luke is kind of like stretching
if you,
and cracking his back. Just
if you wish, they are merely up a flight of stairs and through a door.
Well, we're sort of on the surviving end of an encounter, so to say.
You, sir, would definitely be a good person to see then, I would say.
Quite possibly.
He could
Well,
at
friends,
least, he could at least help with some of your ills.
Luca is going to gesture around to hold on. Luca is going to gesture around to the rest of the group. Well, welcome to Nicodranus, and we are currently in Archmage Yusa Aranis' tower.
Tidepeak is the proper name.
Thank you, Tidepeak.
Did you say Archmage?
We did.
Yes. Definitely.
Also, hello. You
Hello.
Thought, you thought you were going to be way too late. Nay, my
Yes.
friend. Welcome in.
Yes. The RNG gods have found a way.
Cheers to that. Hail hydration. Not in the chat. Just I'm just calling it out to everybody on.
I have no hydration.
How dare.
Hydrate yourself.
No.
Well, now it's gonna be mandatory.
Hail hydration.
Hail is actually the solid form of hydration, not the liquid form.
Nice.
Sip beverages.
Aha, there it is. Now is an official hail hydration chat.
So sad. Our bonuses are empty.
Indeed.
After
y'all had a 20 rounds with the Volstruckers. I would like to point out, yeah, you used everything possible.
and no one permadied in it. Or wait, no, sorry.
You mean no one that we care about?
Right.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
Listen,
Well, I mean, there's Zomu, but
listen.
Mhm.
We care about Zomo. We do, in fact.
that. Yes, in this house we do care about Teddy's
we the
persona.
players, characters,
His persona.
not so much.
But yes,
I was gonna say,
Nyack.
Luca doesn't even know him.
Yeah, Nyack, you speaking up, Winsforth, which I think I actually hid that. There we go. He did introduce himself. Winsforth would call out, yes, Archmage Yusa Aranis, master of both Tidepeak Tower and owner of the Open Key sector of Nickdrana City.
Okay, above table, not one of the Kerberos, just another.
No,
Or not one of
you.
those Kerberos.
Yes, rather than middle of the Dwendalian Empire, that Tidepeak.
Okay.
The name itself, much less the view that got liberated by one survivor, with this broken, thick ass glass window that got liberated from its solidity. You can see you are on the coast. You are on a beautiful coast. I'll reapply the beautiful art. Thanks again, Kent.
You can smell the salt air thanks to the survivor defenestrating himself.
Yes, it is a salty, beautiful air. You can see where Tidepeak is. Tidepeak is up and overlooking everything. You can see the back and kind of side facade of this lighthouse tower, whose visage you would recognize, as you have dabbled here and there with the Wild Mother. This is an enormous, like, Colossus of Rhodes style statue lighthouse of the Wild Mother.
Okay.
And you have that moment of recognition there too.
Okay. Seeing that, I would just say, I don't know, something along the lines of, "Oh, thank God I'm here and actually alive for once."
Interesting thing to say.
Dramble, Tyler rather, steps forward and they call out, "Have you or Yusa heard from Mr. Widogast in any recent time? Not in the last few days, but I'm sure he could be alerted if you need him. There have been some developments, and she looks first down towards Dramble and then glances back towards Nyack. Some developments in the situation we found ourselves in. I think we might want an audience. At least for myself, and Dramble chimes up, me too, yeah. Our spells are somewhat depleted. Winsforth, could you be a dear? And he takes a second and kind of pats himself down for a second, pulls a little. It looks like a cheap copper ring out of his one of his vest pockets, slips it on real quick, and does a quick gesture. And Mr. Caleb, your audience is requested at Tidepeak Tower at your earliest convenience. And there's a moment where you can tell he is receiving a message back.
Slayer steps out of and away from the teleportation circle, anticipating a new arrival.
He says he will not be here immediately right away, but he plans to be here as soon as he is able. Minutes was the term used.
Good.
Oh, good.
That is fortunate. Bramble, Tyler, may I speak to you privately?
I think you might want even more to hear what our associate might have to say. You may find it enlightening.
And I'm not entirely sure you're entitled to any private conversations yet, Nyack.
Asher wandering over, slowing his breathing by just like looking through a bunch of bottles and stuff on a shelf, just like, oh, good colors. I like grounding himself from the anxiety of that crazy. He just looked into the face of the fucking abyss and survived. You know what I mean? This is not something Asher is used to.
I would, in response to Slayer, I would say, Slayer, I do understand your hesitation. However, I do believe it is important that this be held close currently. Your god preaches of strength. And I don't know if you know the strength it takes to go back to a place like the sanitarium.
Interesting.
Yep, brew on it, sit on it. Think about it, Slayer. And as an aside, Kerberos, I will handle the details of your job later. For now, chill out.
Yes, sir.
Akira is going to turn around and look Nyack right in his owl face. we want to trust you. And you still have a ways to go. So, what about a compromise? You keep nothing discussed in this room from us. You go have your conversation, and we get the update.
I will provide the update of information pertaining to me and this group. I will not sacrifice the privacy of Dramble and Tyler.
Sacrifice. Like you did Kaylee's freedom.
Speaking of Kaylee,
and you say that, and Kaylee actually perks up for a moment and says, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah.
Maybe you should have a moment here, Nyack, and right here with Kaylee, and explain.
For the slightest moment, there is a sprinkling of fear in Nyack's eyes before he goes back to a neutral face.
It's something someone strong might do.
Kaylee, I am the reason you were taken to the Vergussen Sanatorium. I was a Volstrucker agent, and I captured you as part of my duties as such. Since then, my allegiances have come to light as needing to change, in the form of a knife planted through my chest and into the floor behind it. I think that sends a strong message. I accept any anger or punishment you may wish to dole, but do know that I am also the reason, in part, why you are out of the sanatorium now.
You say that, and Kaylee is tired, like conditions level 3 exhaustion tired. And so as she's kind of being held up by Scanlan primarily, she kind of looks up and kind of looking over you, just kind of nods. And Scanlan looks at her and looks at you and looks at her like, that's all you have to say? Is, huh? What changed your heart? Dying?
Is he looking at?
Yeah, looking at you.
Oh,
looking at you.
Okay.
Dying? I've died. I died a couple of times.
I've died once.
Dying doesn't change your heart. What actually changed in you?
My hands up to my forearms being absolutely stained in blood.
Yeah.
I would look at him and I would say, in this case, literally, but the blood of hundreds is on my hand. And now the threat not only sits on my life, but of those I care about. And I see the damage that I've caused. And I know I can't atone, but I'd like to do what I can to fix a situation I had part in causing. And if you won't further answer, part of it can be thankful to the world, Mother.
Luca
go
folds
ahead and
his arms but says nothing.
I'll say, make a persuasion check as part of this.
No.
Scanlan is looking extraordinarily aggressive. You can tell Pike is looking at you with an amount of like the sternness, but like the mom who's hearing you out sort of sternness.
Yeah.
Scanlan.
That's 25.
25. Fuck yeah, let's go. Scanlan, he's got the wild intent in his eyes, and you can see it. It would help if I was typing and actually type the right thing first. Hold on. There we go. So,
You guys, if he kills me again, we're gonna have to take a week of downtime. Please.
yeah. No,
You mean go find Eredrin? No.
Scanlan looks like he's ready to cast a spell at you. Not sure which one, but his hand starts to come up and Pike catches it and interweaves her fingers with his and says, you know, there are some times that we do a bunch of shit we regret. And she like grips the hand just a little tight. And he kind of snapping out of like death staring at Nyack looks towards her. And the death stare eyes immediately soften. And then that little bit of click, like there's that twitch of like, ah. Even without you twisting my arm, you're right. He looks up and, like the light switch that had flipped when he first met with you and Luca, the light switch flips back on and he smiles. I suppose we were all some sort of son of a bitch or another before we found ourselves figuring shit out. And he nods and just kind of letting go of the handhold, kind of picks up his coat and starts to drape it over his shoulders.
Something only seen once or twice, Nyack would kind of bow to him at that response, like laying the wings down, bow.
And like as you're bowing, you hear in do you comprehend Draconic?
I believe I do. Let me check my character sheet.
Just triple checking.
I do.
He doesn't know if you comprehend it or not, but like looking dead at you, says in very fluent Draconic, but if you touch my family again, I will fucking end you.
Well, he said Slayer doesn't know Draconic.
Yep, fair enough.
Yes,
we're playing that him again.
I would respond, which is an understandable and acceptable response. I do thank you for your mercy. In Draconic.
And Pike chimes in, hey, no out loud conversations that I don't understand. That's not nice. And she just kind of very, very lightly pats his shoulder, lightly for her.
Akira translates the Draconic for Pike.
And then she looks up and, Yeah, no, that's about right. And she looking back towards Nyack. Yeah, that's about right. The Everlight preaches redemption and acceptance. But my oaths don't just encompass redemption and acceptance. As you might have seen, I will go to war for the people that I care about. So, if everybody gets one, that was it.
There's a certain peace seen in the aftermath of war. Scanlan, I will need that paper back. I do need to destroy it.
What paper?
Full, like, 90-degree head cock. Like, you know the paper. You can watch me destroy it, Scanlan.
And Pike looks up at you, and there's a moment where Scanlan is actually and genuinely confused. And Pike says, "Do you mean this paper?" And she kind of sliding out from herself, the one with the teleportation sigil on it.
Mm-hmm.
This one?
Yes.
Oh no. If this sigil still matters, she'll fold it back and go to tuck it back in.
It matters not. But I made a promise that that sigil would not be written down.
Yeah, but unfortunately, if we need to get back to wherever the hell that place was, it's really nice to have a piece of it with us. Everlight?
Leave it alone now.
Everlight, please take us back to Whitestone. And there's a flash in her holy symbol around her neck, and it encompassing herself, Scanlan, and Kaylee, the three of them, in a flash.
All right then.
So it's now the waiting game until we.
As you does start to say, if you'd like to wait in the upstairs waiting room, and then there is a abrupt, and it's not like the teleportation sigil gets activated. It just appearing. This well-coiffed, well-dressed, dressed in a very Zemnian. It's a Zemnian style, but with a lot more color, a lot more Menagerie Coast kind of color. The brighter reds and the brighter yellows that you would find down here on the coast. Kind of up in his gear, this long red trench coat, perfectly coiffed beard. But he appears and is walking forward towards Wensforth as he does, and says, "You called for me?" And as he says, "You called for me," he turns. First sees Dramble and Tyler, and there's a look of confusion but happiness, and then seeing Nyack, you look at him and he looks at you.
Oh.
And you recognize the face that you knew as a traitor, known as Inferno.
Oh. I immediately put my hands up. It's like I mean no harm.
Oh yeah, and him seeing you, your hands super bloody and everything. There is this brief moment of fire in his hands that just and Tyler and Dramble both step forward to interject, not with magic, because they don't have any countering magic left. Both of them, they're spent. But stepping forward to be, Caleb, it's done. Done. It is done? And he looks towards Nyack again, the flame snuffing out in his hands, and he walks forward, the coat drifting open. He looks like he has not just one, but two holsters under his coat up close to his body that are book holsters, like quick draw book holsters.
We love rapid fire grimoires.
And he steps forward towards you.
I'm more of a fan of repeating tomes.
Yes, that is a good option as well.
And he like looking you over and back up again. I would have never thought Nyack Crustvale capable of turning on the agency. And he extends a hand towards you.
I start to put my hand out. I look at my own hand. I quickly wipe my hand on my armor. And then shake his hand.
Yeah, as you're wiping your hand on your armor, he actively like puts forward the quick prestidige glyphs and just kind of helps clean it off a little bit. I too have seen many a battle, friend.
I'm glad to not have to see one with you.
I always feared the day that I would see your face again. He shakes your claw, and then suddenly realizing that the rest of the room is there, kind of turns around, and there's still that kind of like sternness to his face, but you kind of realize that this is his face. And he turns. Guten Tag, friends. Caleb Widogast. Good to be met. And he extends a hand first towards Slayer, because Slayer's the biggest one in the room.
Slayer will step forward and be like, greetings, Doomerin, the Doomslayer. We are the late
Doomslayer. That's just a hell of a name. The late Shade, have you revealed yourself at all with your fucking, was it a 31 that you hid with last time?
Yeah, or are you still my cloak?
Yeah, are you still?
I am still at the moment because I hadn't like presented myself just yet. But
Yeah,
I did,
I wanted to
say
make sure.
something a little bit ago. to Nyak's
Okay,
his bit
okay.
that was going on. So I did say something. So
Yeah, but Caleb didn't hear that. So unless you very expressly display yourself, he moves on towards Adarius, and Adarius just kind of like holds up his shield and kind of just Adarius of House Debatoire, and this is Luca.
Luke
Debatoire.
offers a short bow.
Caleb walking up to shake your hand, and then you bow, and he actually stops, and you actually recognize he does a very proper, like Dwendalian, like nobility kind of like cross leg bow display, like splay out his coat as he's bowing kind of thing. This guy knows a thing or two about walking in certain circles, you can tell.
And now Luca gets to jab at him for it. So as Luca comes up from his bow with a grin on his face, he says, formalities appreciated, but I am not from the Dundalian Empire.
Well, we are not in the Dwendalian Empire either now, but you can't. Sometimes you can't take the Empire out of the boy.
Fair enough.
Nyack will chuckle at that. Yeah.
But he kind of looking over towards Akira. I do not also recognize you.
Akira, and Akira will smile politely and, martial arts bow.
Caleb Widogast, good to meet you. And he does kind of this little salute, and as he does, a mage hand kind of appears in the air in front of you to offer a handshake if you wish.
I mage hand shake his hand back.
Oh, you actively conjure your mage hand too, and he sees that. He's like, oh, good. I'm in a room full of very capable people, it seems. Well,
I'm right here, Caleb.
I said a room full of very capable people.
Yes, but you doubted it before.
No, I feared it before.
and with that
But-
statement, Shade will be like, yes,
that must
quite
hurt a little.
No worse than
But if
references the blood.
yes, but if we are to have a moment to ourselves, I do have. Is the business that I was summoned for more public business? And he gestures towards the rest of the late. Or more private business? And he gestures towards the Volstrucker half of the room. Tyler kind of stepping just a little bit closer to Nyack. I think it might be a private conversation. A debriefing of sorts. Most everything that happened, all of them know anyways. And she gestures towards the rest of you. Well, then, we could, we all could go for a walk, and he puts a few fingers forward, does a few glyphs in the air, and then first pointing Nyack, Dramble, Kerberos, Tyler, and then himself. We'll say, we can go for a walk and have a private conversation. while the rest of you deal with whatever it is you have to deal with. And Wensforth
Slayer looks displeased with this.
Wensforth
Slayer's
chiming up again.
cape also looks displeased.
Slayer's jacket looks displeased, you mean?
Wensforth chimes up and not to be persnickety, but I did not get an answer. Did you want to go and interact with the studious up above, or will you all be on your way as well? And
I'm going to be honest with you. We've just finished fighting for our lives. So, does make the decision a little bit difficult.
there are places to sit up above.
Would all of you like to take a short rest before we move on?
They are very comfortable couches. I have made sure of it.
Luca gestures to the rest of the group. Would you all like to take a short rest before we move on?
I think a short rest would be in order.
Well, speaking as someone who's been here the entire time and is fully aware of what's going on, yes, I think we should definitely do a short rest.
And for those of you who haven't seen our friend Adkis in quite a while, you'll find him upstairs, studying.
So studious.
Since no one else knew that Adkis was here except for Akira,
That's true.
To be honest, the Slayer, I mean, he just seems like displeased with the whole like private conversation thing happening, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
confused as to
wait. Hold on. Give me a little bit of background there, because private conversation happening. Were we speaking in a different language for a moment, or?
No,
no,
The one that's about to happen.
yeah,
the one that's about to happen between Nyack, Tyler, Dramble, Widowgas,
Gross.
and
And
Kerberos.
Yeah.
Right. Understandable.
Probably gonna be a brain.
Well,
chat,
I
too.
mean, there's nothing Luca can do about that. So
And there's nothing Slayer can do about it either, so
right.
he's just looking generally displeased about it. And
Yeah. Akira,
as far as he's aware, their next move is to, honestly, like, no shots at Nyack, honestly. Their next move would be to track down Eredrin and to potentially, deal with the
Get rid of
daddy
Nyack?
issues. No, deal with the daddy issues for Akira and
yeah,
whatnot.
save the
Yeah.
group.
Like we've got Shade back, we've got Slayer's body back, we've rescued Kaylee, like
Well, it's just that
the dire things that needed to be happened taken care of have been
we
taken
went and
care
did the
of.
dragon thing.
Yeah.
well, then we can take the opportunity to rest. Like Luca mentioned, an old friend is here,
Right.
making better for himself. So it could be an opportunity for us or for the rest of the party that isn't Luca and Akira to, see Wolf Cimmerind and what he's become, and
and yeah,
we
he's
also have the
definitely
opportunity of talking to the Archmage, which I don't know if there's anything or anybody that we're looking to find. We might be able to ask for a scry or things along those lines. Like, we've got some options here too.
there's
also,
that too.
Justice, above table, have faith.
wink.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was say, Justice was expressing character point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's fine.
I know.
Yeah.
But as intuiting a little bit of the
Need
negative
for
face.
rest.
Yeah, intuiting the negative face towards the private conversation, Caleb would say, "Do not worry. If worse comes to worse, if I am not satisfied with the report from our friend here. Whisper will become naught but a whisper.
And he means that too. I was sent to track him down once, didn't go too well for me. I had to grow my feather back for months.
Slayer just sort of gives a quick nod. Just...
And
I agree to the compromise of my part of an update. So you can trust that.
Caleb will lead down the spiraling staircase, opening the door that leads down. It seems like there's the door and then leading down and then an open stairway that goes up. He opens that door and leading the murder mage team out.
Hey.
I said what I said.
We resemble that remark.
Taking the murder mage team for a walk. Asher, upon teleportation circling into this room, I had said that Asher basically to help ground himself from the anxiety suddenly went over to a shelf full of multicolored liquids and was just like, this one is green, smooth glass. This one is orange, rough glass. Like just kind of like bringing himself down from hyper vigilant, hyper anxiety.
Gotcha. Yeah, no.
Still blue, still third eye, still glowing.
About the whole being blue thing, he'll see the green vial and go, well, he'll be eyeing it, going like, maybe.
Oh, don't we know that like a greater restoration fixes that?
Yes, there are magics that can fix that.
Yes.
I wish we could fix just most of it in the part, but
Slayer will beckon Asher over.
Beckon too. I will absolutely, definitely approach whenever Slayer beckons.
And I'll just sort of be like, hold this candle, and I hand you a candle.
Okay.
And I fumble, well not fumble, but I like get my tinder box out and I light the candle for you, and it is a candle of greater restoration.
If you propose right now, I'm gonna cry. I'm
remember your blood, Mommy Asher.
Nicodranas, the city of love. But he lights the candle. It lights very calmly, and then suddenly, and it whooshes into you, and you become green again.
Yay! I'm green again. It's like, oh, thank goodness.
Well, now we have to get him to a bar to see if he still is unable to get drunk.
I think that's just for the period of days, right? Like there was no.
Yeah. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Fair enough.
But Wensforth goes to lead up the stairs. Whoever wants to follow that way can follow that way. If anybody else wants to go out on the town, there are people leading the way out as well.
Please tell me his first two initials are JG.
Wensforth, not Wentworth.
I'm aware of what the name actually is.
You're aware?
I'm aware.
Are you a Worth as well? We have Winsworth, Wentworth.
I'm aware about Worth.
Akira is going to walk over to Nyack, put their hand on his shoulder.
Nyack's gone. I thought you left already. I'll say Nyack is on the way out. So as he walks out,
I am limping slowly, so you can catch me.
Well, I would just telepathically say it in his brain. Please don't disappoint us.
Am I able to respond to this kind of telepathy?
Too late for that.
Again,
it's really from Akira. But... I'll say from Akira, I believe yes, you can.
Okay. I would just quickly reply. I haven't disappointed yet.
You will hear psychically.
Ooh.
And then
is that another telepathic thing?
Yep.
I would respond. Oh, it's fine when I come up in battle. Y'all have me then, but as soon as we get to talking again, no one trusts the bard. I see.
No response.
I don't think it has anything to do with you being a bard.
I think that's the furthest thing away from what it has to do with.
Yeah.
As far as like going upstairs
know,
and lounging or
know.
going out on the town, Slayer will just kind of follow Luca and Akira's lead there. He's just kind of like wherever you guys want to relax at, he's fine with relaxing at.
Akira turns to Luca with an excited look in their face. Take me to the nearest tattoo shop.
Oh dear.
Are we getting tattooed?
Eh.
Group tattoos?
I guess now I should ask: is anybody following Winsforth upstairs?
I mean, our group tattoos on the table. That is such a fun group activity.
It is a fun group activity. That's
Why
true.
don't we at least take a moment to rest before we go do that?
You can fall asleep during the tattoo. It just depends on your pain tolerance. I mean, I got one like right here once. I think it went away with the many greater restorations it's taken to turn me back to green. But you know, you can get them done and go to sleep. I've done it before myself. Am I talking too much? I feel like I'm talking too much. I'm just happy to be green again.
Akira will shake their head at Asher's antics and say, "Oh, a little rest, I guess, is okay, but
I'm not sure.
we get swept away in things so fast. You know, resting one moment, teleporting into mountains the next. So
Right, yes. We'll take a moment to rest, so perhaps visit and say hello to the people whose abode has sheltered us and given us somewhere to land. And then perhaps we can see about finding a tattoo shop for you.
I would appreciate that.
All right then. Let's take a moment and say hello to the keeper of the tower.
Akira will nod, kind of thinking, "Oh yeah, this we have to, you know, be polite, of course." So it's like, okay, yeah. But they will definitely have that look of, "But outside is that way." But okay, but they're going up the stairs. It's like when
If it works, it ain't stupid.
yeah, you know, the puppy eyes about wanting to go outside, but doing the suggested activity.
Having to do the adulting before you can.
Yeah.
Right. Doomslayer, also knowing we're gonna go meet, like an archmage of a tower and whatnot, will prestidigitate himself clean of all the stone dust and the blood and whatnot.
You'll hear a whisper in your ear. Me next.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna say, and then also proceeds to dust off his cloak.
Perfect.
On notes like that, as soon as Nyack leaves the tower, he's casting disguise self at will to
Absolutely.
to look like his brother Jackal.
Nice.
Slightly shorter, slightly squatter. No blood on him, apparently,
Of
or
course.
something. Yeah.
All right. As Nyack heading out into the wild, the rest of the party heading up. There is a going up the stairs. Wensworth kind of just putting his little finger claw up to the keyhole, and the keyhole itself just kind of click, and lets him through. Walking into this study, there are hundreds of books in this room. This room, like the last, probably 15-foot tall ceilings. The bookshelves in this room go from floor to ceiling with books on books on books on books. Some nice couches sitting around. coming around, following Wensforth's lead, leading this group forward on him, you see a kind of golden-skinned elf. This kind of side part white hair, a brighter gold for their robe, kind of some slightly more simple clothing underneath it. But they are sitting in their chair. There we go. Sitting in their chair, sipping tea, and it looks like a setting for right there, and then another setting for right there. But the saucer is there, but the cup is not. And then as Wensforth walks forward and begins with a Master Eusarinus, may I present, and before he can actually present the group, suddenly appearing in the chair, as if an invisibility dropped, you first see the spit take of tea that just out from the invisible person. And then as the invisibility drops, you see him lean forward, setting the cup down. He says, "They're just passing through!" And he jumps up and actually runs over to give Luca a big hug.
Well, hello. Luca will hug him back.
This is a surprise! I heard you'd been through town. I've been back to the house. I seem to keep missing you.
It's, well, this time we're here on purpose, I suppose.
Fantastic! Oh, goodness gracious. Look at all of you. Who's this one? Adarius. I'm Adarius. I'm a knight of House Debator. He's like, oh, cool, right on. And just like I don't know, you get your hands off my purse. just keeps walking on, and goes over and gives Slayer this big hug. Just goes, oh boy, have you gotten shorter? Closer to perfection, I think.
He's away at the moment.
Okay, and
What happened? Oh, sorry.
yeah, moving past is Akira, soon to be Debatoire, or is Luca taking your name?
Kira looks at Luca, kind of unsure what to say. We
Luca
haven't
just smirks and raises an eyebrow ridge.
we haven't discussed that part yet.
The Lady Debatoire is ecstatic about the whole affair, really. So just know she's talking about you behind her back, but it's all good, like big like arm grip, all good things, my friend, all good things.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to see that you're doing well.
And you. Yeah, no small part due to, and in the middle of this, Yusa has very slowly and properly finished taking a sip of his own tea, set it down on the table, smoothed out his robe, stood very slowly, just watching this ecstatic celebration, and as Atticus actually stops his exuberance and turns and doing no small part too, and gesturing, Luca, you have heard of Eusarinus.
Mm-hmm.
And heard is the operative term, because people commonly, you included even, don't see Yusa Aranis. Yusa Aranis' business is taken care of by his attaché, Wensforth, who you did know. But Yusa does not just entertain people. And so as Atkiss turns and kind of presents also with following up Wensforth. Yusa's already standing there, and just this kind of what would be stereotypically known as this kind of elven serenity on their face. Not smile, not frown, just this kind of neutrality in their face. And he speaks up. Yes, Yusa Aranis, good to be met by the Atkiss speaks of you as the just passing through. Wensforth, did you say the late? We used to seem to hear Wensforth actually introduce you through Adkiss's explosion. And as Yusa steps forward, Atkiss actually very respectfully, kind of like reining himself in, kind of like steps back and kind of almost to a. You can tell, especially Luca, you can tell that Atkiss is not only being schooled in magic, but possibly even manners. as he steps back and kind of like pulls himself together. He's actually in this kind of like his normal kind of like suit up kind of stuff. He has a robe over that, to a kind of like kind of apprentice kind of robe. But Yusa stepping forward and into the midst of all of you. Good to be met by the late. What an interesting name for a group. I've heard a few, and this very gentle hand extending, not daintily, even though it is kind of thin and waifish in the way that the hand moves, and this person not standing as tall as most of you, somewhere in the maybe 5 foot region, right around the same height as Atkiss, a little taller than Atkiss even.
Well, he's definitely taller than me.
But just this thin but firm hand extending out, and
Luca would readily shake his hand.
And it is strong for how small they are, but it is not you strong. Even you, who are not the strongest in the room.
My apologies for the sudden intrusion. It's very wonderful to meet you.
And there is that briefest question on his face of, yes, intrusion. How did you get in? And Wensforth calls out, Mr. Sarfoot, in fact, brought them with him as he was. They had some business with Mr. Widowgast. Right. Okay then. Right. Well, any friend of Caleb, I suppose I'm willing to at least have a conversation with, though I do... Luca Debatoire? Like, you might not know him on sight, but he, like, seeing your ring, seeing Adarius, seeing, Luca Debatoire?
That is correct. Yes.
Just as handsome as your father, really. It's good to see the scion of the house stepping forward and doing good, I hope.
As much as I can.
Did I hear congratulations are in order and shaking your hand and then looking towards Akira? Was that what I understand?
Yes, Akira and I are engaged.
Fantastic. Well done. Both of you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Haven't really had much time to set a date or plan yet, but I imagine we'll be getting around to that soon.
Those things come. Don't rush anything that you don't have to. Life is short, as they say, but it also is so very long. As long as you do it right. And looking up over Slayer, you bring a mighty warrior with you, it seems. He extends a hand towards the Slayer, and then, as that hand extends, a kind of twinkle of energy in the hand, a mage hand kind of goes and suddenly rests on the hand of the cloak that's being held onto, as Yusa's perception is what many would call extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it lands right on the hand of Shade. Do not be shy, little one. You're in a safe place.
Oh, I just wanted to see how long who would recognize me first. As soon as I saw you, I kind of had a feeling.
Wensforth jumps for a second. Wait, there's another one of them?
Gotta train your eyes.
He kind of points towards you and says, "Hey, you're right, they're not quite as good as they used to be." And so I suppose I should say 2 mighty warriors. As he extending both a real hand towards Slayer and a mage hand towards Shade.
Well, shake it best he can, with his tiny.
I'm not sure who this is, but I will shake their hand as well. Sorry, I'm back. I had to go make some grub real quick.
That's okay. You gotta feed yourself. Feed yourself, please, and thank you. This is Yusa. All 5 foot nothing of Yusa Aranis.
He was able to see me on your shoulder.
The Archmage.
Yes, the Archmage.
Okay.
And he said, "I see you brought a mighty warrior with you," and then in extending his hand towards you, also tapped Shade for hiding.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
I eat on stream too. I understand. Shaking hands. Kind of moving with that to step towards Asher, and he's under the stairs there.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
there
need to
you
get something in me. So.
Yes. Thank you.
So anyway, I'll shake his hand in response as well, and I'll say just quickly, he'll say, "Yes, Cord has granted me great strength."
Oh, Cordite. Well met, sir. There are there are feasts upcoming scheduled for the Embertide Festival. If you still find yourself in town, you may want to join one of them. They are for all faiths of the prime deities, and well, especially those that are. And you can tell he touches your chest plate in that way of. You remember Captain America: The First Avenger, where Peggy Carter sees the freshly baked Captain America and like has that moment of like, do I touch the chest or not?
Mm-hmm.
That moment happens here, where you a mighty warrior such as yourself, and he thinks better of it, and pulls his hand back. But yes, there will be many celebrations that someone as talented as you might enjoy, and that moment of almost embarrassment on his face takes a moment and just suddenly and quickly misty steps to the other side and kind of facing Asher. And you are my radiant friend here.
Oh, I'm still glowing, aren't I?
You are still glowing a little bit.
Fine, fine. Well, it was blue earlier, now it's green, so it's the correct way. Anyway, hi. I'm just here.
Well, just here. I'm Yusa. It's good to meet you. And that elven serenity cracks. There's an actual smile had.
He goes, well, you can call me Asher.
Asher, very fine to meet you. But if you all are I suppose the no longer just passing through, but Adkis has referred to you, and again, just reappearing in their seat. Atticus has spoken very highly of you and your exploits. Atticus taking the cue of Yusa sitting down to sit back down. If even half of them are true, you do have a place walking in here, and
and coming from someone such as esteemed as Adkis, that means a lot. I lean over to Slayer and go, "Who's Adkis?"
So sorry, Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf Adkis. Well, to be fair, Asher would know him as neither of these things because he never met him. So
right.
I figured that's why he was asking.
yeah, so Slayer will lean over to Asher and be like, "He's a dear friend to us. I once smashed a chair over his back when we first met."
I look over at Adkis's way and I go, "You lucky son of a bitch." You know how much I'd give you to have this man assault me in any way?
Wolf's mouth kind of goes agape for a second. Yeah, that was the first time we met, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they rubbed me blind first time.
Yeah, I heard about that. And then, yeah, we busted in. But we became great friends after that, and then we even brought you back after your brain got ate.
Yeah, no, that was a hell of a thing, really. And Yusa looks up and says, "Oh wait, he was telling me the truth about that."
Yeah, it really happened. And I dig in my bag of colding and I pull out the other part of the mind flayer arm that I still have.
And I look at Slayer and I say, "You told me that doesn't happen very often. I asked about your other friend, the pale one, and you said his brain got shut off. You said that doesn't happen very often. I distinctly asked you that."
It's only happened like twice.
I wouldn't say that it happens often. I would say that it all happened at the same time.
I mean, if I had a copper piece for every time that it happened, then I'd have 2 copper pieces.
And there's not a lot of copper.
I mean, that isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
You have 2 of them.
Yeah, yes. That is true. If you all look a little, well, slightly worn. I've seen. Do you?
I feel great.
Wensforth chiming up. Yes, I figured you could all sit. They seem to have earned a rest by the services that they rendered to and with Mr. Dramble and Mix Tyler and even Mr. Widowgast. Well, if you help Caleb along with his endeavors, I can't imagine that you would not need a rest. Please enjoy. There's lighter reading on this side of the room. It gets a little more academic the closer to the couches you get, but sit, read, relax. Would you like some tea?
Do you have any Irish tea?
What's an Irish tea?
You could put some Jimothy in your tea if you want.
What's an Irish?
I don't know if I could handle some Jimothy. It's pretty strong stuff. Well, I mean, we could try it. Like, you know, yeah.
What?
Like how I do.
You suggested, what's a Jimothy? Is that a?
It's an alcoholic beverage that I've concocted on my own in my spare time. Would you like to try a sample?
That is quite generous of you. I
made it from purple worms.
I do not partake in alcohol, especially derived from purple worms.
Well, wormlings, little ones. But
I caution you, if you do take any kind of sample, make it as minimal, like less than a shot.
And Yusa uses eyebrow cocks up.
It'll make you see sounds.
It'll make you hear colors.
Would you?
I mean that literally, though.
It'll make you taste shapes.
Would you be willing to give a sample to us?
Oh yeah, that's what I just offered.
Oh, not to be imbibed, but to be studied. This sounds
I don't
entirely.
care what you do with it.
Oh, fantastic! and
But yeah, he'll pour like a shot glass worth and like
Wensforth, jar, and Wensforth very quickly kind of dodges through y'all.
Science.
Looks like he runs downstairs to go and gather some things, and you hear some glass clanking, and then a little bit later, he moved very quickly to get down there. Coming back up, it's a little more careful and slow as he brings up a tray with about a half dozen jars on it.
I would say like
only one of them has like a stopper to put on the top of it.
I would say in the time, like, because like he took a little while in the time that he was sitting there waiting, Slayer probably would have just tossed back that first shot and then started pouring another one. I'm just.
I mean, that's.
How did I do that wrong? Oh, I doubled on the D. That's what
One
happened.
D20. One double D20. What?
That's funny.
Oh my!
I mean, first a man tries to grab your titty. Now you're writing about double D's. I think it's meant to be.
Okay, that's
Titty's
a
not
real
meant to
roll.
be rolled.
That's a real roll. All right.
There we
You're
go.
meant to bounce across the table.
Indeed.
Akira's gonna take a shot with everyone.
Yeah. After that fight, I think Shade will probably participate as well.
And Wolf kind of looks up hopefully, and then looks back towards Yusa, and Yusa out loud is just like, I said I don't drink. I didn't say you can't. And Wolf was like, much obliged, mate. Thank you.
Slayer pours him one for sure.
Oh yeah, Wolf actually uses the teacup that he had, and just is like, yes, please. And
Signed off on it. Must be a fun time. Then he just, that's what Asher will take a shot as well.
Wentworth, when he gets up here, sets down the platter, grabs the one that has the stopper at the top, and opens it. And, as much as you wish to donate for alchemical studying.
For science.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for science.
Sure.
Huzzah.
Oh, ignore that roll, Jeremy.
What would be? I mean, like, how much? How big is the flask? Like,
So the jar. It's a good probably 12-ounce jar,
okay.
like a Coke can almost.
What happens when it's closed though? Because then it's no longer a jar.
Get out.
It's a seal.
They had seals at the county fair this year. It was kind of cool.
Everyone's rider is fired.
I can't. Apparently, I don't have a
responsible-
wineskin in my. Oh wait, there it is.
Those responsible for the sacking have been sacked.
Four
That's
pints of
definitely
liquid.
not something you can show on Twitch, Jeremy.
So 4 pints is 2 quarts. It's just a half gallon of liquid in a wineskin.
4 pints is 1 quart.
Is it?
1 quart.
Wow.
Yes.
Shows what I know.
That's okay.
Wait, is it?
Oh.
No. It's
Am
2
I-
cups to a pint, 2 pints to a quart.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 pints to a quart. 2 pints to a quart. My bad.
I was like, I worked in kitchens for 9 years. I can't be that off, right?
I
That's what I
was
was
saying,
hoping.
you've worked in a kitchen more recently than me. You should, in fact, probably remember better than me.
I was like, I
mean,
thought it
I
was
had
like 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 is how I thought it worked, but I could be wrong.
I had to go back
I
to the
glue
Gallon
planes
Man.
together
But,
now, so
I looked at the Gallon, or I thought about the Gallon Man, and yeah.
I put a little dirt under my pillow for the dirt man.
Yes,
Put a
him
little dirt
too.
under my pillow for the dirt man. In case he DMCA's.
Yes, we can get DMCA'd for
Yeah,
that.
we
please,
can get
Mom.
DMCA'd for that, so that's why I threw that in there. And just saying.
Because that's on
What?
Spotify. That is published.
Oh no! All right, but yeah, what?
So anyway,
You-
4 pints of liquid can be held in a wineskin. So that's more than 8 ounces, right? So I'll pour.
Yeah.
I'll fill the 8-ounce thing for him.
Yeah, you fill up. He
Half pint.
very like it keeps going. He's oh, and you thank you very kindly for your donation
Science. Yeah.
to science. Yes, for science. And he like
And now
he,
your turn. And he
says-
pours one for him.
he like starts to sniff it, like he's just gonna sniff it, and then you actually like one of the other jars that is more for just for drinking. You shoot,
Little shot.
squelch him a shot, and he like looks, and he first very properly tucks the heavier jar into his vest. This is not one of those vests of holding; it's still bulging out there in the pocket it's in. But he just kind of
At a
like,
jar, or are you just happy to see me?
looks at it, indeed, and he just kind of like swirls it, and it's syrupy. He just
Science.
science, and he shoots it. So first, Wolf took one while he was out.
And I'll take another one with this guy. Just
Technically, it's advantage for poison things.
Yeah,
but 19,
exactly.
19 19's a 19.
Akira takes a shot along with him, but Akira does not have to roll because
No,
Akira
because you're just immune to poisons.
gets immune to poisons.
Yeah.
So this is for the taste.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, Asher, you said you took one too, right? Well, did I hear that right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so yeah, you take it, and whereas Akira is immune to poisons, Akira feels the effervescence. Akira feels the power of Jimothy, but it just kind of washes into them, through them, has the very pleasant kind of effervescence, the tingly. For you, it tastes like drinking Dr. Pepper syrup. It doesn't have the same effervescence that it normally does. That
None of that alcoholic burn.
none of that alcoholic burn. It's like that alcoholic burn doesn't even exist for you right now as you take it down.
Dang.
You're the opposite of Jesus.
But while you can't get
wine into water.
while you can't get drunk, Jimothy is very powerful. You still get to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh,
You're not getting You're not getting poisoned.
Uh,
Yeah, you're just getting hammered.
You might still get you don't get any of the usual off of this. It's just syrup.
First,
You might say he gets his bell rung.
I'm really sad that the Effervescence isn't a part of this because they're one of my favorite bands. I would love to see them live.
Indeed.
Wow.
Akira asked for a second shot.
Into my eyes. Yeah, you'd pour another one for Akira.
Akira looks Slayer like eye to eye. Well, as much as with the height difference or whatever, but eye to eye.
Yeah.
And
Eye to nipple.
they're gonna say to you, "One for Cord," and toss it back.
Slightly slurred. For Cord. And he'll toss back another one.
The debate on whether or not to take one more. Just go night night after this fucking
See Slayer a little bit inebriated at times, but it's I know that you can instantly. I know you can instantly revive yourself.
I actually can't right now. I am tapped out on my lay hands healing pool.
No.
yeah.
Whoops.
You just
Y'all
did your
use
greater
y'all use
restoration.
y'all use GD everything last time.
Yeah,
But,
I'm like pretty much everything.
I think I have like one first level spell slot.
I have one rage, one stone's endurance left, and technically one channel divinity, but that's just because I got a new one.
Well, yeah. Speaking of though, being able to sit, drink, regale Yusa with tales of your exploits that he does in fact, ask. He asks, penetrating questions, follow-up questions, like, you did that, and how'd you get out of that, and what did you do, and very much giving y'all, actively listening, I think is the term.
Yeah.
And Asher, as that hour goes by, the glow dims. Your third eye reseals.
Ew, gross. And Akira actually says that as watching scene, I like, ew, gross.
Does it make a slurping
Seals back
noise?
up.
Yeah. Well, it makes a skin very abruptly sealing back up noise.
Oh gosh,
Yep.
that's so much better. You know how when you have two eyes and you have depth perception because you like 3D image and everything? I had a third eye, so that means I could see so much more detail. It was not okay. I was having a hard time.
He had the top-down aerial view.
There are many martial arts masters who claim to have more than one way to see. You should consider that.
I mean, I'm not a martial arts master, though. I usually run from danger.
Well, you know, we're gonna work on that now, aren't we?
Yeah, instead you've been running to danger.
That's cool.
Feel
You have
free.
been running to danger.
Yeah, it's very brave of you. I'm impressed.
Feel free to be popping your short rest buttons, popping any hit dice if you need to burn them, all of that. Out on the street.
The entire party, or just those at the party of the party?
No, out on the street, Nyack and group. Nyack and Caleb walking kind of side by side. Kerberos taking his job very seriously, right on Nyack's heel. Dramble and Tyler kind of more looking around, and where Kerberos is looking out specifically for Nyack, the other two are looking around, just kind of making sure that no one is the wiser for all of this. And you can tell everybody among that company is listening as Caleb thinks to you. I have been spending the last 6 months of my life devoted to trying to undo the anchors that Trent left in the Volstracker, keeping them afloat. I knew that it would be suicide to just try and walk in and kill the headmaster.
Totally.
That's wild. Who'd do that? Crazy.
Completely suicide. I mean, this plan was partially formed by the barbarian.
It just required a couple naps.
No, that's something that definitely couldn't work.
Yeah, in hindsight, I
could
should
never
have
work.
turned tail and ran the other way, but for some reason I decided to help them.
Yes.
I guess I don't want them to get hurt. I don't know.
It's from the words of Tile and Trumbull, the Archmage of Conscription is no more.
And as far as I know, thinking back, of course, as far as I know, which this one we can't confirm, I don't know if she had a clone, but the Archmage of Antiquity should also have.
Vesterokna.
Yes.
I did not know she survived. I too have watched her death.
So she's a slippery. Got it. Well, she
Actually,
always was.
I've watched her death in Ayo, in Iselcross once upon a time. So if you watched her die, it is very likely that it may not be the last you will have heard of her. But the true head of the organization, now that Trent was away, was Javan.
How interesting.
I was looking for a way in to perhaps infiltrate and poison the valve from the inside. He gesturing towards Dramble and Tyler. people that I trusted to follow through and sacrifice themselves if necessary for the cause. I am glad to see that they made it out.
What do you mean? Are you two... His head turns 180. Are you two...
Double agents?
We were sent by Inferno when Trent got put away and Starlight took his place on the assembly. There were a number of us that were shook. We volunteered to help teach part of the new crop that were coming up, hoping to instill questioning amongst the unquestioning dogma of the headmaster.
You... raise your forearms.
And they both raise their arms. First, make an investigation check.
Of course. Thank God I'm better at that than perception. It's still only a +5, but I am better at it.
Hey, you know, it is what it is.
21.
21. As you're peering, which one do you stare at first, Tyler or Dremel?
Tyler's taller, so her forearm would be closer to my
True enough.
very tall face. So yeah.
Her forearm comes up and staring. You realize that you are staring at a disguised self. And underneath you see the very detailed pattern of tattoos, that maze that covers the slits down the arms.
If it's all the same to the both of you, can we walk lock and step? I trust you guys, but it's never good to have a scourger walking behind you. You know how it is.
Unless, of course, we are walking together.
Fair.
And that is really up to you. Caleb takes back over. This is what we have. We've been working on this for the last 6 months, ever since Trent was turned in for his crimes. They were crimes that were committed against you, Nyack. This that you have become is not perhaps what you should have become. But nevertheless, this is where we find ourselves.
Unfortunately, we don't always get to be the dealer of the hand we're dealt.
But we can do things to met out what is right with the hand that we are dealt. We have been dealt very strong and very dangerous cards by this fate that we find ourselves in. And you, I would say, have a part to play in this.
I believe so. And I have a plan.
What is your plan? I too have ideas.
While the... Oh, sorry.
I was saying but, and he trails off.
While the true headmaster and leader of our former agency is dead, there is still the threat of another hand in the agency's operations.
Do you refer to Ludinus?
The Martinet, yes.
Yes, this... It was in investigating him further as Trent and he seem to be very lockstep for many things. Ludinus was a lot more careless with you all.
Yes. The agency became worse under Ludinus's reign. My plan...
I was going to say, you sound like you have a thought to this process.
The death of one member of the Cerberus Assembly creates a power vacuum. The possible death of two creates a black hole.
Yes, it would be very dangerous to try and kill two.
So
He says, nodding very much with a little smirk, knowing that you did just claim to have taken down Vess with.
Yes. So my thought is, someone needs to fill that vacuum.
Ja.
Someone who can permanently cut off Ludinus's supply to new tools, as he called us, and can continue to scare him into the deepest recesses of whatever pit he decides to reside.
You are trying to cut off his resources.
Which is why, in part, I attack the center. He won't have new tools to fill his toolbox for a long time.
And in cutting off the Archmage of Conscription and perhaps filling it anew, he would not have any flow of those tools at all.
Exactly. Thus wrenching the last vestiges of the agency from barring Hellbore, but I have an idea about how to free her of his grasp as well.
Mr. Crestvale, I must ask you very directly. Do you have any intentions of continuing the work of the Volstruckers?
And to answer you directly, I do not have intentions to continue the work of the Volstruckers as the precedent has been set thus far. However, I do believe mages can be a great power, not just to harm, but to help. I believe a rebranding of sorts is in order.
The thing I would ask, if you are trying to go down this road yourself, to put yourself forward for this, I would ask. And he actually pulls up the sleeve of his coat, and he does not have his hidden below any illusions, his tattoos and scars very much there. Or no tattoos, those got removed. Scars though. Scars there. He goes, I would ask that you do none of the things, the evils that were wrought upon us. Do not slide back into what is comfortable and known. Those things were evil, not only to inflict upon children such as we were, but upon anything. If you wish, my little network here that you have met, if they're willing, I am willing to help you in gathering what support from our disparate corners of what Volstrucker may still be about, to help you in doing better. But I need to know. And he turns, and one hand on each of your shoulders, looking you dead in the eyes. Are you going to do better? Not just for your friends, I would call them. You look at them the way I look at my friends. Not just for them, but for you. Are you going to do better?
Oh, he looks at his friends with a telescopic neck too. That's cool.
Not telescopic, radial.
Radial.
Kaleidoscopic.
Indeed.
That would hurt. That'd be very crunchy.
Don't betray me again. No, just kidding.
I'm not tired of this right here. I think I have paid my penance over these past 3 months.
Damn, Justice with the no chill. Take your inspiration. That hurt me.
You don't. Nyack doesn't get to decide when we forgiven him. We get to decide when we forgiven him.
That's true.
And if not, and asking have you done enough would not help.
No.
See, you fixed the problem, right? And now it's the part where you do better.
Okay. Pause.
I'll say, but.
I don't need lecturing on it.
Yeah, no. You know, everybody knows. Everybody knows. You know, God knows. Everybody knows. But Caleb asking you directly, with your answer, go ahead and throw a persuasion check, because I know that you are putting forward your better foot.
Yes.
Your better claw.
So that was mostly just for the lulz.
It was for the lulz, and it was lovely.
So I would say, and I'll go ahead and start my response while D&D Beyond reboots. Caleb, when I was over in Taldore, I had the great pleasure of meeting someone who worshipped the wild moon, and meet the survivors of, what was it, the chromatic something?
Chroma Conclave.
The Chroma Conclave.
Yeah.
And I realized the damage, collateral or otherwise, that can be done to people. I want to make And part of why I wanted to speak to you all is I want people to hold me accountable while I make that change. And my thing is up, so I'll roll my persuasion.
Go ahead and roll it with advantage. You said some very particular things.
I just clicked it.
That's
So
okay, you
I'm
can just
sending
click
you
it
the
again.
second roll.
Yeah, you can just click it again.
20. Dirt.
Nice. And he, in a show of good faith towards you, actually pulls you in for a hug.
Immediate first reaction of Nyak's, and it would just be in his eyes, would be apprehension. Because this is the traitor.
And you would notice that, like, as he goes to pull you in, there is the natural tenseness in the shoulders of, well, anyone who's been through the training that you all have been through.
Yeah, we need a good massage.
That tension, that readiness, you see it melt in his shoulders. You see him actually like, okay, I can relax around this guy. Yeah. And he kind of, you being as rigid as you can be, however you want to be, he pulls you in and actually out loud whispers in your ear, "Welcome to freedom. I am glad that we can be friends again instead of enemies."
Hearing that phrase and hearing him say, "I'm glad we can be friends again," and still being in a lot of pain from that battle, Nyack would reach his arms around into the hug and kind of collapse a good portion of his weight onto Caleb. And coming out of the hug, he would be slightly misty-eyed. But, he would look like Atlas when Atlas just gets done holding out the sky.
And looking you back in the eyes, he'll say in your mind, "If you are committing to this, your adventuring days will be over. If there's anything else you wish to put forward to your friends, now will be the time. This will be the day. Let us take a moment. Have you ever been to a club?"
As much of a smile as you can get out of a beak.
For pleasure, not for business.
It's been too long that I've been to one for pleasure. Last one I was at, I was held at knife point, so I think this would be a pleasant change.
Oh, this should be a most pleasant change. It is actually a very upscale place. Have you ever heard of the Ruby of the Sea? As he takes you to go, and for your short rest, feel free to rock a short rest as well.
Awesome.
He takes you to this beautiful club, the Ruby of the Sea being a renowned performer. You especially would have heard of her. She is a kind of I say nightclub performer, but a club performer whom is extraordinarily popular in Nicodranus, and this almost Marilyn Monroe level figure of, like, somebody says Ruby of the Sea, you know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of the sexiest red tiefling woman you have ever seen in your life, singing some of the most beautiful music that you've ever heard in your life. And it is a place that has good food, is quite upscale as a restaurant as well. Protected by some very a very large, brutish but well-dressed minotaur. It is a very lovely place. Jeremy has described this place so thoroughly that he has in fact forgotten the name of it. But
yeah, that's fine.
Jeremy's looking up his own shit.
I guess I'll just change my attunements at my long rest, since it's hard to change attunements while you're getting a lap dance. So
No, it's not that kind of club. A more upscale. It's not a dance on your lap, though they do offer other services. But
yeah, my head was going slightly faster than my mouth was going slightly faster than.
Was Nyack going to a tip drill?
No,
Is that what was happening?
no,
Not really
Nyack
vibes.
Yeah, no. I'll say it is a club. It is not a exotic dancer place. It is she takes the stage and she sings and she dances and she puts on a beautiful show.
So like a piano bar kind of club.
Yeah, kind of a piano bar kind of place. But this is a place where like you see that there are people here who are dressed as if they are movers and shakers of the Menagerie Coast. This isn't just a corner bar. And Jeremy is
obviously I loose my armor. I doff it, store it away. Sooner or later I need to get that put into my shift weave, but and I shift to my maroon suit.
Lavish Chateau. Damn, I knew it was a good name. But yes, it's a place called the Lavish Chateau.
Okay.
But there we go. But yes, so you being able to have your short rest, restoring yourself, the rest of the crew kind of doing their thing, polite pleasantries. Anything else from those that are still at Tidepeak Tower before you depart?
Nothing that I can think of. Akira's excited to see more of the town.
Oh yeah.
Other than making sure that we leave on good terms with our host, no, I don't think so.
Oh yes, no. I mean, go ahead and for Luca, just on behalf of the group, make a performance check.
A performance check. Oh dear. Now will be the one time I just absolutely bomb one, right?
This would be the time.
This is the way. It is.
Yes, a natural a natural one for a 16. No, this isn't one of his minimum 10 minimums. This is his legal minimum of 16. I would like to point out. Go ahead first. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. If you have something to point out, I'm going to take it.
I'm just pointing out that you can't crit fail a skill check.
I'd like to do better than that, though. So
okay, feel free.
Does anybody have anything that I could use?
Guidance?
Guidance is the thing that I could use, yeah, but is anyone willing to drop me an inspiration to reroll, because I literally cannot do worse than a 1?
I do not have.
Sure.
You could get another one.
Take the one I just got.
Yeah,
Are
take
you
the one.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, then my next one will be going to you then.
That's all right.
Let's
Y'all
try
deal,
that again.
y'all deal each other
Let's go
inspirations
slow.
all the time. I love it.
A 22 is significantly better than rolling a 1. And then
Indeed.
guidance can offer me a short bit as well, right?
Yes, it can.
Guidance is a D4.
It is a D4. And this is a place where
Jesus.
magic such as guidance is not.
Oh my gosh.
It is not using magic as part of your telling of stories is not unwelcome.
You know what? Let's just, because that's a 23. Let's just drop the talisman into wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Everything wants to roll a 1 right now.
yeah, sometimes. But with a 24, even not your best day is still better than most people's good days.
Yeah.
You literally exhausted after a fight, whether or not your HP is reflecting that. Your spell slot sure fucking do. And so yeah, y'all sitting around regaling each other with stories. Yusa it just like absorbing it all in and really marveling. And it's not just being a good host marveling. He could very easily probably evict you if he did not want you here.
Right.
And so in listening, you can tell that he's really actually enthralled by the whole thing. And as the tea, there's a cup and there's the thing that holds it.
Teacup?
No, the thing that holds
the
A saucer?
saucer.
the tea carafe. The
tea.
the thing that pours. Teapot. Thank you. I was like, I can't think of a goddamn word. I'm so good today, guys. I promise. I'm awake. I had good sleep. I had caffeine. There's no excuse for me. It's fine.
You looked at
all the things,
you
that's
looked
the
at a
problem.
house cat, said, "Oh, a Siamese," and then forgot the word cat.
Yes, exactly. But the teapot, you can tell, runs out eventually. It takes much longer than it seems with how much he pours from this pot. But it eventually runs dry, and he finishes the last of his tea. And I believe our ecumenical break is over. There's more studying to be done, Master Wolf. And he hops up and yes sir, need we're working on trying to perfect that thing you keep doing. And yes, very purposefully. And he Yusa misty steps yet again, almost carelessly, just misty stepping across the room. Yes, we're trying to conjure yourself across the room. Walk before you crawl. Conjure yourself across the room before you try and conjure yourself across town or across the continent. One step by one step.
He said that way too knowingly for my comfort.
And using that excuse of showing off the misty step to get closer to the rest of you all, as assumedly, taking seats and sitting and enjoying enjoying the rest. He would use that as a cue to step over. And it was lovely to be regaled. Thank you for Thank you for coming. Feel free to call again. Preferably from the front door this next time, but feel free to call again. It was a pleasant break in the monotony of old elf's life.
Thank you for having us, and apologies for it being a sudden intrusion. Next time, if you will allow next time, I would like to give you some advance warning.
Well, that should be much easier now that we have made an acquaintance. But all queries are preferably put through Wensforth. He will more than likely be the one answering. So, if you just take a quick knock at the front door, you'll be answered one way or another, likely. At least you will. And if you don't see a front door, just approach the tower. One might appear.
I see.
It does not appear for everyone, for the record. And he kind of like stomps a foot, and a glyph kind of appears on the ground beneath it, and he kind of first points towards you, and then Akira, and then Adarius, and then Asher, and then Slayer, and then Shade walking around, still points towards Shade. And the glyph, you recognize at least the nature of the glyph. You were there when the Realm Seer, Eskel, did something similar in his big mage circle on the top floor of his, where, kind of speaking to the tower itself, hey, people that are allowed to at least, be acknowledged by the tower.
Noise.
So you don't have the same freedom with this one that the Realm Seer gave to you, but at very least a very pleasant. At least if you walk up to the tower, and something that you as a denizen of the town would know is Tidepeak Tower. To most people, does not have a front door. It has windows, it has little balconies that are up a ways, and sometimes those windows and balconies are actually open, sometimes they are closed, like you can see through them, and sometimes they're bricked up, and it's different at different times, and like sometimes when you're further away from the tower it looks even taller. There's so many different like weird little wards to it. Most people don't understand it, but in the doing that, he very abruptly will cast just a message spell and just point. Wensforth, if you could escort our guests out to the street, I would appreciate it. And Wensforth coming up. Well. They're welcome to come back? Yes, sir. All right. Well, good to hear. I'll looking at that Jimothy, that taste, that was something else. I am beginning to try and break it apart molecularly. It's not. It's different than a purple worm's poison normally is. It's a different flavor. It's a different and he just starts talking about like the smells and the sights and the smell and the look and the consistency and. As he's escorting you all down the stairs, back through that room,
Can you stay Kavana part 2?
Down into the downstairs, and letting you out the front door. There is in fact more kind of like there's more library and alchemy on the ground floor. As at every floor, this is a mage that definitely has a trove of knowledge and a trove of stuff and things at their beck and or call. But walking up towards the front door, something on the other side of it kind of shimmers for a second, and as Onceforth again, finger to the lock acknowledges him, opens the door. You do see kind of as some people gasp as they walk by, because it is not often an occurrence to see the front door of Tidepeak Tower open, much less people walk in or out of it. And you all walking out onto the street. Onceforth says, travel safely, and what was it? Cord's strength to you.
Thank you.
And shuts the door, and as the door shuts, as you hear the lock engage, the facade of the front door shimmers and fades away, smooths out. This tower is smooth once again. But you are standing near the top of a hill overlooking the open key part of the city, somewhat seedier side of town, but it is independent from the interests that control the rest of the city. Take out to the overhead. But you know, streets leading down to docks down below, out towards the Mother's Lighthouse, out around the city around you. Late. Where do you want to go? No,
I mean,
no one crawling up your ass with a knife. No.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, no.
Sounds awkward and uncomfortable.
Right, that all sounded awkward.
Yeah,
I mean, at least dinner first, you know.
I'll say
That right there is so not my kink.
For the first time in a while, breathing fresh air that is not in any immediate danger. Constitution saving. I'm kidding.
Tattoo. Akira wants a tattoo, a piercing, and a good meal.
I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna say.
I have a couple of matters to attend to before re-meeting with the late.
Yes, you did send me those things. Though, is that operation still as planned?
For which part?
You wrote me 4 handwritten letters in character.
in a writing font I don't use.
Yeah, in a font you don't normally write in. That's me level shit. I respect it. What did I say about that other thing? That's some me ass shit right there.
Yes, that part. Yes. While still at the club, just quick sending stone like, hey Aaron, I'm alive. Handling things. Sending a night of Crestvale to you tomorrow.
Oh, thank the gods. Thank you. so very glad. Wait, when did you get a knight? And it just like lets it cut off. He doesn't give any follow up or anything. It's just like you can hear the damn moving up in the world in that.
Yeah. And my second part at the club would be negotiating with Kerberos, but we've handled that. Yeah, we can yada yada that.
The things we figured out, you negotiating for Kerberos' service, and knowing for whom his devotion is, making sure to say, hey, I'm not gonna step on your worship, but as long as you also respect where I'm planning on paying you good money, don't fuck me.
Yeah, that. And writing a letter to Aaronall and handing it to him and saying, when I teleport you tomorrow, give this to him. I have a few more letters to write, but that can all be, for the most part, yada yada.
Yeah, but taking your time while eating, crafting letters. This is the kind of establishment where you can be like, hey, do we have any paper laying around? I need to write some letters, and they'll bring you nice parchment, and you being able to, feeling very much, especially for you, very much at home. This is the kind of thing that before your schooling really increased, being pulled from the Solstice Academy, being shoulder tapped by those you were shoulder tapped by. This is a return to the before times for you.
Yeah, and just two quick notes about that. I'm not writing the letter to the one lady.
Okay.
Yet. That would be after everyone's gone to bed.
Yeah.
And the other note is the letter to Astrid. After writing it and after writing the accompanying letter, I'd fold it up. And then, is there a candle nearby?
Oh yeah, this is the kind of place that would be lit by candles.
I would stick the letter directly into the candle.
And all three of the other Volstrucker at the table kind of look up, see you do it, and go back to their meals. They understand what you're doing.
Yeah. And they would know my plan to ask Lady Astrid for help, stuff like that.
Yeah. But as the rest of the late heading down to the waterfront, are you wanting to head for tattoos in the slightly seedier part of town or in the slightly cleaner part of town? That is the difference between the Open Key and the Restless Wharf.
I'm going to phrase this the way Sean phrases people cities when he visits them. Whatever, like if you know the good spot, take me to the good spot. It doesn't have to look the nicest, but if you know they get down, they get down. So I don't judge by the neighborhood per se. I judge by the quality of work. So whichever place does good work.
And as you go and evaluate the waterfront, off of the dock of one of the occupied docks, you actually see someone at work on doing some tattooing. This kind of this box cabinet of it's kind of rolling, almost like one of those big Craftsman rolling toolboxes, like cabinet kind of thing. But like it opens up and it's got all these little drawers with either like powders or little jars of inks and whatnot, and he has it is a tattoo gun in the very realist sense of the thing. This needlework, this air-powered needlework thing that he has this pneumatic kind of setup to it. Part of it attaching actually directly to his back.
Well, this is interesting. Okay.
Because there's a shell on his back that looks like it has a few like air pipes coming out of the top of it, and then off the side of it there's this almost bagpipe bag underneath his left arm, and it looks like the bagpipe bag is kind of disconnected from the pipes coming out of the shell and is instead attached to this pneumaticness going into the box and then out to this tattoo gun, and this kind of grizzled turtle using his left arm to kind of, and the tattoo gun is doing its little clickety 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 as he is going through, and I'm sorry. Pause before we get to these. I do want to point out somewhere in that downtime, y'all scooped up 2 dead bodies.
Huh?
Y'all scooped up. I was so relieved that the battle was over too. I forgot what y'all did at the end. You had scooped up a dead Javon Margolin and a dead Vestaragna and their stuff.
Oh.
One of you with a 24, I had him roll it, had very politely oopsied the knife that Javon had dropped up and stowed it away. But as for the rest of it, retconningly, the dead bodies, not something that Yusa is entirely squeamish about. These people's stuff, he would recognize these people, but would not question why they are would not question why they're dead. Almost like he might already have some inkling of what happened, or at least what they may have been fucking into. And 2, would very happily identify their shit for you.
Let's go.
So, I want to make sure that while we are still within the bounds of time that we have, to actually give y'all some shit, give y'all some stuff.
I like goodies.
And then you have this archmage who may or may not collect things. If you don't want things, might sell them to someone who has the resources to collect them. In fact, with his free second level unlimited cast all day long, you notice it was Misty Step. The first level one, he identifies stuff. He identifies stuff real good, real fast. Well, 1 minute casting instead of 10 minutes, instead of 11-minute casting. But he can identify all day long. So here we go. Let me bring up my campaigns. The campaign with all them Vergessen mages.
We're about to get so much loot, you guys.
Well, it's not exactly the amount of loot, because at least for Lady Vess, hers was very simple. She was just wearing a glamour weave robe, an uncommon glamour weave robe. nothing to terribly write home about. It's nice, bright red with kind of golden accentry. Makes her look extraordinarily regal in the Dwendalian Empire. But it is just an uncommon glamour weave. But her staff. Her staff identifies as the Staff of the War Mage's Power. This is not your common staff of power. It is a staff of power in the way that it grants a +2 to attack and damage rolls made with it, and you gain a +2 to AC saving throws and spell attack rolls, not spell save DC, but spell attack rolls. And then it has a fucking laundry list of things that it can do. If in the worst of times, you can break it across your knee and do an extraordinary amount of damage to your immediate vicinity. It is a to whom it may concern. You don't get to pick who it hits. It's a Nova. Yeah. So yeah. Staff of War Mage's Power. Check it out. Figure out what you want to do with it. It is a custom item that is ready to go. But the headmaster. Also you had the Slayer had scooped up the headmaster's
simulacrum.
Yes.
Hmm?
The gear.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to pull that up too. There we go. So running down the list. The spoiler, the singing Dawnblade that was taken from Scanlan. Scanlan's taking back, so we're just gonna take that off the list.
Right.
Understandable.
But
Sure.
and Scanlan's Ring of Protection +2. Sorry.
Come on.
But there is a Robe of Summer.
Okay.
What's that do?
It does some good stuff. It does some counter cold stuff. It's good. It's good for what it's good for. The Boots of the Vigilant.
Ooh.
That does some non-attunement once a day. If you need to make your initiative less bad or way more good, you get a D8 for funsies.
Neat.
Just your base ass cloak of protection.
So can I wear like one of those boots and then one of my other boots and still get the properties of both boots?
Did you ever watch Iron Man 1?
I get it.
Oh my. Oh my.
Sounds like fun.
There was the last of which, kind of mirroring the long stiletto blade that the Prime Javon had. This one also had its own long stiletto blade that works instead as a short sword of warning. So it's a stiletto of warning. So those are the slightly more ordinary things. Now, this one, around its neck, it had a rosary, but now that the illusion is gone, that rosary doesn't look like it looked kind of agnostic or polytheistic. It looked like it had a little bit of the Wild Mother to it. It looked like it had a little bit of Bahamut to it. Now you see it is made of bones. Like finger bones, like the small bones, and the marrow area totally hollowed out and run through this, and on each of them kind of inset these little jewels, all of them shades of green, but it would identify as a rosary of protection, or just bone rosary. It functions as the guardian emblem item, which is you can negate crits within 30 feet with your reaction. He uses reaction on a lot of other things, and was also in an anti-magic field for an extraordinary amount of time. Good job, by the way. Just to say it again, great job. So that's all the stuff that wasn't Scanlan's stuff that Scanlan would have taken back. Things like the golden grin ring, but the smile is a dick. That's Scanlan's. But there we go.
Real Javon.
So, real Javon. Besides a real fucky eye that is now just labeled as an item, destroyed. And the thing Nyack pulled. Nyack, would you have... You would have just left with that, huh?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
that is like in my most hidden of dagger spots.
Yeah. Prison wallet, got it.
Take your minds out the gutters, but
You're welcome. You're welcome.
not that like under like
I
it is against my feathers.
I know. I understand. Additionally, there is another. This go from the ground up. Also, another set of Boots of the Vigilant. It is an uncommon magical item, and is not attunement. So, he had one too. The robe on him, very nice, nice robe. Now out of illusion, you can see many eyes stitched into it. It being a robe of eyes.
Ooh.
On his bracer area. One thing that was the fucking bane of your existence for quite a bit of that battle. Illusionist bracers. Lets you cast a cantrip and cast a cantrip again as a bonus action. The same cantrip for freezies. He had hit you all over and over again when he was just using cantrips before. The Headmaster's Walking Stick. It is a combination of a wand of magic missiles, a wand of magic detection, a wand of secrets, and in fact is a +3 quarterstaff. Because it is all those things, it is still not attunement. But around his neck, around the Prime's neck, what was really truly in the two different forms really set them apart. The other one had the kind of natural rosary. This one, a very fine platinum chain with a ruby. To borrow a term from the first episode of Firefly, it's a ruby the size of a testicle. It's a big old ruby, in the shape of a teardrop, but faceted. And you can actually tell that as Yusa identifies it, he has the briefest moment of pause before telling you what it is. He will say that in describing it, that all of its charges have been used for today, as it is you above table. I'll let you know this is how he got there. But it is a shard solitaire set with a ruby. It used the teleport function, using all 6 charges to hurry home once he was able to get all the rest of his stuff together and on. But it has as a bonus action, while wearing or holding the shard solitaire, you can teleport yourself with anything you're wearing or carrying up to 30 feet. You can extend it up to 30 more feet, but if you do that, you have to succeed on a con save or take 3d10 force damage. But it is basically on-demand Misty Step, or slightly longer Misty Step with possible consequences, kind of like bouncing off the walls of the universe.
Not that we'd have any experience with that.
Indeed. It also contains the ability, the charges area on it for some reason says that teleport is only 2 charges. No, it's all 6. It's in the description. They coded it wrong. But you can use banishment for 3 charges, and it banishes the target to inside of the ruby for the length of banishment. For the extra dimensional space, if they can't be banished to another plane. No. Banished to stone's extra dimensional space for the duration. No, that's just that. Whether they're from another dimension or not, they go into the shard. Fly is only 2 charges, mirror image is 1, and teleport is all 6. And it does not have a break condition on using all 6 of its charges. But it does have a limited recharge on those. So 1d6 every dot.
You could get lucky and nail 6s,
Yeah, no, it's a good time. But yeah, that is kind of the coup de grace of the whole thing. So with that, I would say if there's anything amongst all that craziness that you don't want, other stuff that you have someone who would mention that he is a collector and for the right price sometimes parts with some of his collection, and sometimes will buy new parts for his collection. So it's kind of up to you whether or not you just want to walk with it or cash some of it in. Up to you.
Unless anybody has anything to say otherwise, I was kind of eyeing that robe of eyes.
Yeah, Akira, since especially because Sean, didn't have Akira anywhere near picking up the stuff, so I wouldn't lay claim anyway, and then there's just also nothing of complete interest to me there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll say just for the record to try and cut off your self-deprecation there. No part of your team was not necessary for the success of that venture. Just for the record, everybody really contributed. Just
For sure. I would, Akira doesn't think about looting
make sure
the
to
body.
say it out loud. I know.
Yes.
Both you and Akira don't, but
So yeah, I will.
just to tell you, take some credit. You did some fucking work, my guy.
As
But if
Go
there's
ahead,
something if there's something left over, then I'll see what's left over. But I want to make sure people get if there are items that would help another character, then let them go to that character.
I have an above table thought. The last weapon of warning y'all gave away, so you might want to retain a new weapon of warning. And if you're not going to use it for the time being, there is someone who gave y'all that weapon of warning that y'all originally gave away.
I am a weapon of warning.
Yeah, well, sometimes
he's asking on behalf of his other character. Hey, can I
Yes,
have back
that's
my
what I'm
weapon of
doing.
warning?
That's what I'm doing. Furthermore, Teddy, sometimes our warning character is stuck being a dancing doll for a blood fae.
But I'm not anymore.
Woo!
Doesn't mean it can't happen again.
Hey, I
Oh my.
smelled amazing.
He did.
You did.
He did. He was treated very well.
I
do
was
you now?
treated like royalty.
You probably smell like iron now.
So there's a few cool things in there for sure, but I definitely am out of attunement slots.
No. There's things to exchange if you want to, or not. Again, totally up to y'all.
Yeah, because
Pretty satisfied with what I got.
Yeah, because for me,
Love
I was
it.
probably gonna do just take off my bracers of archery for the time being, and then just use that robe of eyes.
Was Javon known to wear the shard solitaire?
Ooh, we got a bully raid. Hey, Firesmith, thanks for the raid. What up?
Thank you greatly.
Heck yeah.
Love it. Thanks for coming. We appreciate ya.
Yes, thank you greatly. Would, like I was saying, would Siobhan be known to wear this shard solitaire?
Yeah, it is kind of a one of a kind item.
If no one else wants it, may I claim that?
What?
The shard solitaire.
The only thing I want is the robe. I don't think anybody has any qualms with you taking that. It doesn't seem like it.
Great.
I mean, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah, Justice, if you don't think Nyack should get it, please speak up.
It's not that I don't think Nyack should get it. It's just I think it's worth a lot.
You want the gold from it, is what you want.
Kinda.
Could be placed into certain things.
Okay, here.
Like I said,
Was he-
so here's where I'm at, right? I've already got a lot of cool shit. Slayer's whole thing with his items right now, right, is improving his enchantments on Stormlight, right? Because he's still got to get somebody who knows how to cast magic weapon to cast magic weapon on, because he can't give it that +1 bonus or +2 or plus whatever. He can't do it. So that's also going to require a lot of gold.
Cough, 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 cough.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Yeah, we know above table.
So, but that's gonna take a lot of gold, and so that's just where I'm at. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here we could sell, but if there's a lot of stuff here that can be used, we should probably use it.
No, I agree. We should use what we should use and sell what we can't.
So if you can use that gem, go for it. But
well, okay, to keep it fully to put it all on the table, I mainly want the gem to wear it next time Ludinus sees me, if he sees me again, to see that I have one of his most trusted people's item, having been one of the people who led to his death.
You being Petty Murphy. I get you.
Oh no, I'm being 100% petty right now.
Did you say Petty Murphy?
I did say that.
Inspiration. Take it.
Oh, thank you.
That's a first for me. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, it's in Chicago. It's a thing. I don't know if it's elsewhere, but like lots of names get replaced with Petty.
Oh no! I've heard the action before. That particular one I have not heard.
Oh, got you.
So I'm curious. Since
Petty
now,
Vetter was the first one I heard, actually.
Since now I have advantage on my perception checks and whatnot, does that give my passive perception a boost as well, having advantage?
It would if you don't already have it from something else.
I don't know.
Well, you can look at your passive and you would be able to tell.
Well, he looks at that. I would then, if there is no strenuous objection, like to lay claim to the shard salt there.
And Slayer, you took the stiletto of warning, right?
I mean, I have it in my possession. I can't attune to it, but
He's planning on He's planning on returning warning to warning.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, that's fine then. Then okay.
To your brother.
Because that's what. Had no one claimed it, I was gonna claim it for Eredrin, but I thought I heard Justice take it earlier, so I just wanted to. So as long as someone got it, then that's fine.
But yes, there's the headmaster's walking stick, the illusionist bracers.
I mean, I'll stuff it all in the bag of holding.
What do the illusionist bracers?
And if this guy's, sorry, go ahead.
What do the illusionist bracers do again?
Buy one, get one for a bonus action. Cantrips. If you cast a cantrip, you cast a cantrip again as a bonus action. Not automatically, but if you want to.
I would love that.
Does require attunement.
It does require attunement.
By a spellcaster. Which
funny, funny that.
Funny that.
Which you are on the edges of whether you can be considered a spellcaster.
I get to define myself as a spellcaster.
Especially very soon. But
I would like to consider, like, okay, they'll be in Slayer's possession. So let me think that over, if that's okay with the group.
Yeah, y'all have time. I'm just saying, if there were things that you wanted to just be like, I don't want this, we don't want this, or things that you already have that you're like, we're done with these, I can offload them. I am giving you the equivalent of a magic shop to offload your stuff with somebody who has the money to somewhat buy at least some of what you have.
I mean, while I'd like to wear one Vigilant boot and one Storm Rider boot, I don't think that works.
Like I said, remember Iron Man 1?
That works, so...
It's like, what if we take the boots and we infuse them together?
We can work on that.
That's a different process.
Right.
I would actually, there is something I would like to sell.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Your soul?
Listen,
that was sold years. That was sold years.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you're right.
No, where'd it go? I'd like to sell my Coat of the Crest.
Offloading your Coat of the Crest.
Yes.
Let me double check a thing real fast. See if there's
a particular table? Question mark?
Yeah, a particular table that I worked hard on. I don't remember whether that's actually on there, but we're gonna find out today. Find, there it is.
Oh, this is nice.
Because I've never used it. I've kept it here. I've just never used it. So I mean, there's no point.
I can see so far in the dark, and not even a survivor can hide from me now.
That's actually not true.
I can see 100.
I felt the glasses get pushed up.
Well, I mean, if you're more than 120 feet away,
that's true. No, because his No, his shit is if you rely on dark vision to see in the dark, you cannot see him.
Okay, well, I can see invisibility as well.
He's not invisible.
And I can see.
I'm not like that's not that feature
true.
is not invisibility. That's
Yeah,
just
no, I
you
know.
can't fucking see him.
But I mean, you do have
Yeah,
invisibility.
Akira
now that
can
you
only-
use it
Also
as
true.
well.
Akira can only see him if they have the full psionic body up because it pierces all that veil. But other than that, no, like you can't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I was the only one to see him during the
Yeah.
last session because of the key.
And I think the only exception to that dark vision would be like if you had like devil's sight. Because I think what it
Probably.
relies on for me being invisible
Yeah.
is you seeing in shades of gray in dark vision.
Exactly.
And so like I just register as a darker shade of gray as a patch of fucking grayness. Like you don't see me.
Exactly. That's why.
Even
that's
with
why
your
they
massive perception skill, you just I'm just not there.
you hear him. You hear him. You just don't
Yeah.
see him.
I know
But-
you're there, but I just can't
but-
fucking see you.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls.
Back to the topic. Nice. Back to the topic. Code of the Crest. He'd offer you 1,000 gold for it.
I don't.
He would offer it in 100 platinum version.
Deal. Cool.
Done.
Yeah. I don't feel like negotiating today. I've had a long.
What about for this this guardian emblem thing?
As you offer that one up, it takes a really much closer look at it, and I don't know that I would want to have that on my person for any length of time. The iconography of it. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a religion check. Oh my god.
I've got a +9 religion. Actually, would I know?
Well, like, there's already like it's already kind of an uneasiness. But when you natural 20,
Oh wow.
as he looks it over more closely, he setting it on the table starts to like
Honestly?
the bones have little notches in them here and there, like
If it's provoking this type of reaction, Slayer's probably honestly thinking about trying to turn it into Gilmore.
yeah. Well, but he turns a piece, and like laying it on the table, they start coming together like little little connect the dot pieces almost. And thank you so much. Can I just say my partner smells so good today?
It smells like shades.
Yeah, for real. There's a reason that I have exotic smell in my description repertoire, but in doing this, it forms itself into the outline of a skull, and then the left eye, it loops around very prominently, showing the left eye of the skull and completes the circuit. And he says, this item is tightly associated with the Whispered One.
Did that ring any bells?
Oh yeah, no, Whispered One, Vecna. You know what Vox Machina did.
Okay,
If
cool.
Nyack is here, which I think he is, he will avert his gaze
come
from
on.
anyone in this moment.
Oh sure.
I'm not part of that band, so I don't think you'd have to worry about it. In this moment. It's-
Yeah.
But yes, it's
All right. Well, that's fun.
if
Maybe
you got this was on. This was on
the person I picked it up off of.
this one.
Javon Margolin, or the simulacrum of him.
No, that is not good news.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If I were
Now that I look at it, I'll see that.
If I were a betting man, and he kind of twirls it around and re-obfuscates the symbol and just kind of twirls it back into a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
If I were a betting man, which I am not, I would bet that Javon and things that he did were much tied to the Whispered One. Be careful. If I were you, I would break the end of this, spread the pieces out in the bay, and never think of it again.
Could I attempt to just hand crush it? I mean, I've got adamantine gauntlets on. I mean, can I just
You do. You can go for it. You can try.
try? You said we should just break it, so
Make an athletics check.
Big numby.
I don't think I have advantages from that. It's gonna auto rolled with advantage.
That's okay. That's
only
okay.
one
I'll say the lower and/or first number was 30. So yeah.
The lower was 30.
Yeah. Your disadvantage and/or just regular advantage was 30. So you hearing that, you have that thought of just oh, that's a good idea, and just wrap one part around one hand, one part around the other, and just flex, and just you tensing both hands just snaps it, and you have two halves of this item, but the beatery of these finger bones easily slipped off of there. You could tell this. It wasn't exactly a rope. It was a chain. It was a not a super thick chain, but it was a chain, and it was enchanted. I mean, click and sliding it off. You have a handful of about 15, 16 finger bones, all with little gems in them, and
Not the weirdest sentence I've heard today.
and very very easy to feed the birds or whatever you end up doing with them.
I'll do something with them for sure. Enhance. No. Okay.
Cloak of protection, robe of summer.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
those things.
Does the cloak of protection require attunement?
Yes, that one is just your regular roll +1 cloak of protection.
And what was the other thing?
Robe of summer.
Robe of summer. It is colorful and lovely, and
Grants
gives
cold
re-
resistance.
Yeah, cold resistance and cold environment immunity, essentially, up to most cold environs.
And also requiring attunement.
Also requiring attunement. It does grant
Gotcha.
resistance.
So here's the thing, guys. I was
That one.
planning on selling pretty much everything that required attunement that nobody wanted.
Okay. I'm fine with it. And the more I think about the other thing, I'm not going to worry about it because I don't want to untune from something that I have right now. So I'm cool with whatever happens to it.
Right, like I'm set on my attunement slots. I don't know about everybody else. If they're
The other one that was not attunement that I talked about, besides the two things that are boots, was the headmaster's walking stick, which is a +3 quarterstaff.
Oh.
And does all those other things.
Yeah, it has a little bit of detect magic. It has a little bit of magic missile.
But you described that as the pommel of it being a Vecna sculpture, right?
No, the thing that was the pommel above the walking stick was actually the blade
The guard.
popped out of it. The blade that popped out of it that is currently no longer in it.
Okay.
If no one wants that, Akira would like to hold on to that for forge reasons.
For safekeeping, if you will.
Fair enough.
You and
It's called the
Evil
Headmaster's
Staff-
walking stick.
I'll say, yeah, no, this one's a very not evil staff, in fact.
Let me-
It has been hollowed out of its evil. Somebody else has the evil.
Yeah.
Who could it be? Nobody knows, really.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
I, Sean, have a plan. So yeah, I would like to hold on to that.
Add it to your inventory. I'm going to delete it from mine.
So we
Headmaster's walking stick.
Headmaster's walking stick. Okay. Because it does not require attunement, right?
does not, and
Does
it
not. Okay.
yeah, it does all the things of three other wands that don't require attunement. The wand of magic missiles, the wand of magic detection, and the wand of secrets.
And it has 19 charges.
It has a combination of all of those charges.
Okay. So to clarify, the things we're keeping are the stiletto of warning, robe of eyes, headmaster's walking stick, shard solitaire.
Did the illusion
Did I miss
bracelets get
anything?
kept?
Someone's keeping the
the
illusion.
illusion.
Akira said not to worry about those. So
Yeah,
I
don't
was
worry
gonna-
about it.
I was going to sell
Attunement.
them. Yeah, they're attunement.
Is Tim here? I don't hear Tim.
I'm here. I just was a little bit distracted by my dog for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there are things in this pile that would benefit Luca.
Yeah, I might need to take some time to look over them because I was like only partially present for most of that. I'm really sorry.
That's all right. The one they were talking about selling off these illusionist bracers, and I wanted to make sure that you knew that these illusionist bracers are fire off a cantrip with your action, get a bonus action cantrip of the same
one.
cantrip. For free.
Holy crap!
So much
Yikes!
Eldritch Blast.
Which would be great for you or Asher.
I'll say,
you know?
I heard neither you nor Asher jump at that, and I was like, guys, are y'all paying attention?
Yeah,
Are you here?
I might need
I
a
thought
little
about-
bit of additional time to look over those things before deciding.
about
on
Eldritch
this stuff.
Blast.
Yeah,
I thought about
literally Eldritch.
Blast right away.
Yeah, that's fucking two blasts of Eldritch Blast. So that's like 6 beams.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And like I said, given that we are past our normal ending time, and I might need a little bit more time to look at those things, it might not get sold today.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
So y'all will with the retcon going back and doing all of this. I will say, y'all take the week to figure it out, and we will come back next week, having settled our accounts. Any magic items that you want to sell in this moment, not just the ones you just inherited, but any other magic items that you want to sell, like Nyack just did. Feel free to we can deal in those during this week, and we will come back to y'all going up on this grungy little street tattoo parlor with a lovely turtle. So
You told me he was in Grimgalier.
he was in Grimgalier. He's been other places. He's a traveling man. He is mostly a seafaring man, however, because he's a commander of a ship. So, until next time, thanks for hanging out. Always the most pleasure to play with my friends. So, thanks for hanging out. In case we haven't mentioned it for a while, for 2 whole years, and we've been Twitch affiliate for like 2 whole years, or not affiliate, but Twitch affiliate, not partner. Twitch affiliate for like 2 whole years because of this. So like, thanks. This is great. I love that for us. So, words of stuff and feelings. Just thanks for the good times. We'll get back to this next week. Until next time, for the rest of you, please remember that kindness is free, and to please keep going.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, check out the TikTok, check out the Patreon, check out the YouTube, check out the Twitch, check out the Facebook, and thank you all for those who joined in the raid today.
And Sanderson, sponsor us, man. We're gonna be doing the Stormlight soon. It's gonna be worth it.
I'm gonna love it.
Everyone knows the lily of the valley, a sunburst of a dahlia, of roses sharp thorns. But the prettiest, sweetest of the flowers only grows on the farther shore. Sweet tart cherries and blackberries on the bush, bursting with nectar when the peel has been shorn. But the sweetest and most bountiful of orchards only grows on the farther shore. Till it go to the farther shore, that paradise to rest when your old heart can beat no more. We all go to the farther shore. We all go to the farther shore. Wild temptations haunt this earthly coil. Some may resist them, though others can't ignore. But the promises of pure imagination take us all to the farther shore. It must be everything that everyone was promised. It must be all that we could ever want and more. It must be better than the love we leave behind us. They only know on the farther shore. Till it go to the farther shore. This paradise to rest when this old heart can beat no more. We all go to the farther shore. We all go to the farther shore. I want to hear everybody, come on. Till I go to the farther shore. Till I go now, yeah. Rest when this old heart can be no more. We all go to the farther shore. Let me hear you now. To the farther shore. Show a grin, wake the dead. Till I go to the farther shore. Till I go now, yeah. Rest when this old heart can be no more. We all go to the farther shore. Let me hear to the farther shore. Let me hear your voices, everyone. To the farther shore. Sing it, everyone. To the farther shore. Thank you very much, everyone. In memory of a friend.